Wow! Yesterday night was something phenomenal for 2311 Racing as they achieved something NASCAR had never seen before. But almost at the same time, drivers were frustrated, radios were heated, and the mood after COTA got messy fast. Tyler Reddick made history. Michael Jordan was celebrating another three-peat. And yet the fallout from this race was not just about who won. It was about who felt like their day got taken away from them, and why the word stolen started floating around almost immediately. And that is what we're diving into today. We're going to break down how Tyler Reddick held off Shane van Gisbergen and became the first driver ever to open a Cup season with 3 straight wins. Then we'll get into Michael Jordan's huge reaction, Kurt Busch's emotional response, Connor Zilisch's brutally honest frustration after a race he felt he could have won, the JR Motorsports side of the weekend where late chaos ruined a strong run, and then later in this video, we'll circle back to the stolen victory talk that is now spreading online. Not to hype it up, but to explain why people are suddenly saying it. Because if this weekend proved anything, it's that NASCAR just had one of its biggest modern moments and somehow still walked away with a perception problem. Let's start with the race itself, because before we talk about backlash, frustration, or conspiracy chatter, the first truth is simple. Tyler Reddick flat out delivered. He started on the pole at COTA, led a race-high 58 laps, and beat Shane van Gisbergen by 3.944 seconds. That matters because SVG came into this one as the road course benchmark, carrying a 5-race Cup road course win streak and chasing a chance to tie Jeff Gordon's record of 6 straight road course wins. Instead, Reddick beat him clean, stretched the gap in the closing laps, and never really gave him the opening he needed. That performance made real history. Reddick became the first driver in NASCAR Cup Series history to win the first 3 races of a season. Not one of a few, not tied, the only one. Daytona 500, Atlanta, and now COTA. 3 totally different tracks, 3 different styles of racing, and Reddick answered all of them. That's why this start feels so massive. It's not just a hot streak, it's the kind of stretch that changes the whole tone of a championship season before we even get out of the opening month. And Reddick sounded like a driver who knew exactly how hard that final step was. His post-race comments on Fox were the words of somebody who understood he wasn't just racing the field, he was racing the one guy who rarely gives away anything at a road course. He said, "Yeah, just trying to remember everything that I knew was going to be important there at the end and just tried to minimize the mistakes. Shane is just, that's what he's so good at. He does not make mistakes." Then he added, "It means the world." Yeah, you know it's so fitting. That's a huge statement because it tells you what this win meant beyond the record. This wasn't just another points day, this was Reddick finally beating the modern road course king straight up when it mattered. For the last couple years, a lot of drivers have been trying to solve SVG on these tracks. On Sunday, Reddick did it. And honestly, I think that's one reason this win hit so hard around the garage, because it wasn't fluky at all. He looked like the best car, the best driver, and the most complete team all afternoon. Even Shane van Gisbergen's own reaction backed that up. He did not sound like a guy who thought something got taken from him. He sounded like a guy who got beat by someone better on the day. SVG said it was weird to be disappointed to be second. Still a great points day, and other post-race coverage quoted him saying Reddick's driving was amazing, and that they simply didn't quite have enough. That's important, because when the driver most directly denied a 6 straight road course win is giving the winner that kind of credit, it tells you the finish itself was earned. Then came Michael Jordan, and his reaction made this feel even bigger. After the race, Jordan spoke to Fox and said, "It's time for change. It's time for change," and the guys feel the same thing. Tyler came in with the most pressure with the chance to win 3 in a row. That's the hardest one to win, and he kept to his strategy. That time for change line, that's the one people are going to keep replaying, because it sounds bigger than just one race. It sounds like Jordan believes 2311 isn't just winning, it's changing the order of things in NASCAR. Jordan also made sure to point out who built this. He credited Denny Hamlin heavily, saying Hamlin was the mastermind behind finding Tyler Reddick and putting Billy Scott and the rest of the group together, while Jordan himself joked that he just put up the money. And when the owner talking like that is Michael Jordan, the entire result starts to feel even louder. Kurt Busch added another emotional layer to that, and I think this part really mattered, because Kurt isn't just any former driver reacting from the outside. He used to drive the number 45 for 2311. So when he saw Reddick do this, it felt personal to him. His congratulatory message was loaded with pride. "I couldn't be more proud of you, Tyler, the team, 2311. Oh my god, Denny, you knew he was gonna be the guy. MJ, Billy Scott, the whole program, I'm so proud of you guys. That is history. 3 wins. That tells you how this is being viewed by people who know what this organization looked like in its earlier stages. To them, this isn't just a good start. It's proof that the team really has become what they believed it could become. But this is where the mood of the weekend changes, because while Reddick and 2311 were making history, not everybody left COTA feeling like they got a fair shot at the result they deserved. The biggest example on the Cup side was Connor Zilisch. He finished only 14th, but that finish does not really reflect how much speed he showed. "I feel like I drove one of the best races I've ever driven, and we finished 14th. So yeah, it sucks. I don't know if I need to do something different, but just one of those days." That quote hits hard because it sounds like a driver who knows he did almost everything right and still got a result that looks mediocre mediocre on paper. Zilisch also explained the two incidents in a way that really captures the frustration. I saw one of them. Suarez was right behind me and just looked like he squared up and hit me. And second one, I was already in the corner and got T-boned. I don't know what happened. Then, trying to take at least something positive from the day, he said, "It was good. Just as a race car driver, I'm not satisfied, but I showed that I can do it." That kind of reaction is exactly what creates this weird split screen after a big race. One garage celebrating history, another driver walking away feeling like the chaos at COTA cost him a real shot. And that frustration wasn't limited to Sunday's Cup race. On the Xfinity side, there was already a strong sense that COTA had become a place where late race chaos was undoing strong runs. Carson Kvapil, connected to the JR Motorsports orbit, left frustrated after what looks like a promising day got derailed late. He explained it like this: "We almost got to that goal, and I think we were going to be 8th before that caution came out at the end. It was shaping up to be a really good day. I'm not sure whether we should have pitted there." NASCAR just had a historic, genuinely impressive victory, and still somehow ended the weekend with too many people talking about frustration, wrecks, perception, and controversy, instead of simply the quality of the win. That is a problem, because perception matters a lot. And COTA created two totally different emotional realities at once. One was triumph, the other was resentment. Now let's get to the stolen narrative, because yes, it's out there. A wave of fans online has started throwing around conspiracy-style accusations now that 23XI and Front Row recently settled their legal fight with NASCAR, and Reddick has opened the year by winning everything. Some people are taking that timing and connecting dots with zero proof. I'm not going to pretend that chatter doesn't exist, because it clearly does. But based on the actual race at COTA, there is no hard evidence that this win was handed to 23XI, gifted to Reddick, or manipulated. Reddick started on pole, led 58 laps, and beat the field's best road course threat by nearly 4 seconds. The stolen part right now is a perception story, not a proven racing story. And honestly, the strongest answer to the conspiracy chatter is still Shane van Gisbergen's own reaction. If anybody had the cleanest reason to hint that something was off, it was the guy trying to make history himself by tying Gordon's road course record. But SVG didn't sound robbed. He sounded beaten. He praised Reddick's driving, said they lacked a bit of turn and drive, and admitted they simply did not have enough. That doesn't kill the online noise, of course. Internet narratives don't die that easily. But it does matter when the driver in second is effectively telling everyone, no, the better guy won. So that's why this whole COTA weekend feels so strange. Tyler Reddick absolutely earned one of the most important wins of the modern era. Michael Jordan had every reason to celebrate. Kurt Busch felt proud of what 23XI has become. But at the same time, Connor Zilisch was openly gutted. Carson Kvapil was frustrated, and a loud section of fans decided almost immediately to turn the story into something darker. That combination, a real historic win mixed with immediate backlash and suspicion, is why this feels less like a simple race recap and more like the start of a much bigger conversation. If NASCAR wants these historic moments to land the way they should, it has to find a way to keep the spotlight on the racing itself. Because right now, the racing is still good enough, but the trust around it feels a lot shakier than it should. Now, I want to hear from you. Was Tyler Reddick simply the best driver at COTA and the clear deserved winner? Or do you think the frustration from guys like Zilisch and the online backlash show NASCAR has a bigger problem building underneath the surface? Drop your take in the comments below. And if you want more NASCAR breakdowns like this, the real quotes, the real reactions, and the bigger story behind the result, make sure you like this video, subscribe to NASCAR Central, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.